Allah says, وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِي الشَّكُورِ. Very few of my servants are shakur. The shakur is the one who's grateful for calamities and tribulations. Not just blessings. He feels gratitude when horrible things happen. Because most people just feel, at best they'll be patient or resigned. But the shakur, he actually says alhamdulillah, because he knows that Allah only does good for his believer. Right? There's a hadith in Sahih Muslim, ajaban li amr al-mu'min fa inna amruhu lahu kulluhu khair. How wondrous is the affair of the believer. His affair, all of it is good. And that's why if you really do believe that, you enter into a state of gratitude even for the tribulations. Alhamdulillah. So the shakur is the one who shows that gratitude. But this comes from absolute certainty. And this is a maqam related to rida, which is contentment with Allah. And it's a state of mahabba, because once you fall in love, you can't see anything else. I mean, that's the beauty of love, is that when you're in love, you can't even see faults. Right? So if you're in love with Allah, Allah can't do anything that would upset you. Nothing. Because you'll see, it's myself. I did it to myself. Allah didn't do that. Allah wouldn't do that. I did it to myself. Or Allah's doing it because, like the father that punishes the child. You see, I mean, you see a father punishing the child, the father loves the child. So why is it punishing it? Because it knows that in the punishment is benefit for the child. It's disciplining the child. It's bringing the child back. It's reminding the child has bound. If you see a child running towards fire and the father slaps the child's hand, it wants to taste a light pain in order to avoid a great pain. You see? Because it knows that pain is nothing compared to the pain of the flame. And when Allah gives you great tribulations, those are nothing compared to the fire. Nothing. So if Allah is purifying you to prevent, to keep you from that, then you realize this is the love of a creator for his creation. The Prophet ﷺ once saw a woman nursing her child, and he said to his Sahaba, do you think that this woman would throw her child into the fire? And they said, La wallahi ya Rasulullah, she would never do that. He said, Allah has more mercy for his servants than this woman for her child. Allahu arhamu bi'ibadihi min hadhihi li waladiha. Allah has more mercy for his servants than this woman does for her child. God is so great that God will even allow somebody that denies him to exist. I mean, that's greatness. He'll feed him, nurture him, give him rain, keep his body healthy, give him a wife, children that love him. Allah will do all of that, and that person denies God's existence. All that does is it shows the greatness of God. Now, if you can't let that person survive, it's like there's a story, it's an apocryphal story, I don't know how accurate, but there's a wisdom, Imam al-Ghazali mentions it, about Ibrahim alayhi salam. One night, he never ate alone, Sayyidina Ibrahim, ever. He always found somebody to eat with. But one night, he couldn't find anybody, he went out, found a man, and he brought him, he was a mushrik. And before the man ate, he blessed his food in the names of his idols. And when Ibrahim heard that, he said, you can't eat any of my food, you're an idol worshiper, get out of here. The man left. And then Allah revealed to Ibrahim that man, I have been feeding him for 40 years and patient with his idolatry. You couldn't be patient with him for one meal? And so Ibrahim ﷺ went and found that man and apologized to him and invited him back to his table. And the man asked him why, and he told him, and the man became Muslim. That's Islam. We can embrace them. You see, da'wah, what is da'wah in Arabic? What does that word mean, da'wah? It's an invitation. Now, if I put a gun to your head and say, you're coming to dinner tonight at my house, is that an invitation? Seriously, it's not, is it? That you're not inviting somebody, you're forcing them to come. La ikraha fid din. An invitation is only valid if you allow the person the possibility of refusing the invitation. Now, who would allow the person that possibility? A generous host. Allah has made a house, He called it Darul Islam, and He invited His creation to it, and He gave them the option to refuse to come to the house. So if people refuse it, why are you so fearful of them? Why are we so afraid of those people? You should have no fear.